There is a behavior almost every dedicated U.S. professional does that costs them their career, and they think it is helping them. Being too available, answering messages immediately, saying yes to every meeting request, picking up the call at any hour, responding to emails on weekends. You think this makes you a good employee? It is making you a small one. Subscribe right now because this video will change how you handle every email and every meeting request from now on. Let me tell you about two senior managers in the same Fortune 500 U.S. healthcare company. The first is constantly accessible. He responds to emails within minutes of receiving them, including evenings and weekends. He accepts every meeting invitation that lands on his calendar. He returns calls within the same business day, even when he is in the middle of something else. His team and his peers describe him as responsive, reliable, easy to work with. He has been a senior manager for 7 years. He has not been promoted to director despite 3 openings being filled around him. The second senior manager operates completely differently. She does not respond to emails immediately. She has clear blocks of focused time during the day where she is unreachable. She declines meeting invitations that do not have a clear agenda or decision to be made. When colleagues message her on Slack, sometimes she replies in 2 hours, sometimes the next morning, sometimes not at all if it was something they could have figured out themselves. She is not unreachable. She is selective. In 4 years, she has been promoted to director and is being prepared for a vice president role. The difference between these two managers is not capability. It is the message their availability sends. Here is the uncomfortable mechanic. In U.S. workplaces, your availability sends a signal about the value of your time. When you respond to every email instantly, you are signaling that your time is unscheduled, that nothing more important than the email was occupying you, that you can be interrupted at any moment. When you have clear, unavailable periods, you are signaling the opposite, that your time is structured, that you are working on something important enough to protect, that access to you must be earned, not assumed. Senior leaders in American corporations read these signals constantly, most of them unconsciously. The constantly available manager has accidentally communicated something costly. His time is cheap because it is always for sale. The selective manager has accidentally communicated something valuable. Her time is structured because she is operating at a higher level than the work being thrown at her. Drop the word available in the comments right now if you have been the responsive employee for years and watched less available colleagues advance past you. I want to know how many people are paying this hidden cost. Now here is the deeper layer most American professionals miss. Overavailability creates 3 specific career problems. Problem 1, it trains the organization to interrupt you. Once people learn that you respond immediately, they stop thinking before they contact you. Why would they think? You are always available. So every minor question, every half-formed idea, every situation that could have been resolved without you starts landing in your inbox. You become the help desk for your entire organization. A help desk operator is not promoted to director. Problem 2, it compresses your strategic thinking. The work that gets you promoted in U.S. corporations is not the work you do in response to incoming requests. It is the strategic work you do during deep, uninterrupted blocks of time. Building plans, designing systems, developing relationships, thinking deeply about the next 90 days. Constantly available people never have time for this work. They are too busy responding. Their day is a series of micro-interruptions and quick answers. None of it compounds. None of it builds anything that matters. At the end of the week, they are exhausted and have moved nothing forward strategically. Problem 3. It signals that you are not in demand elsewhere. This is the most expensive cost. A senior executive at a U.S. company who has built genuine market value is constantly being pulled in multiple directions. They have boards, recruiters, clients, partners, and family all wanting their time. A junior employee with limited market value has nobody else wanting them. They are completely available because nothing else is competing for them. When you respond to every email at 11 p.m., you are not demonstrating dedication. You are demonstrating that nothing else in your life is competing for your attention. That signal lands differently than you think it does. Senior leaders read it as, this person does not have other options. This person can be paid less because no one else is competing for them. Constant availability lowers your market value in the eyes of the people who decide your compensation. Machiavelli wrote that a prince who is too accessible loses authority over time because access cheapens what was once rare. The same operates in U.S. corporations. The senior leader who is hard to schedule with is treated with deference. The senior leader who is always free is treated as utility. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the value of time is set by how it is used, not by how much of it exists. He was advocating for the truth that time given freely teaches people that time has no value. Now here is what to do with this starting this week. Establish one specific unavailable block in your calendar. Pick one 90-minute block on your calendar this week and label it Strategic Work. Do not disturb. During that block, close your email. Put your phone on silent. Decline meeting requests that try to land in that time. You are not telling anyone what you are doing. You are simply being unavailable. Use that block for one piece of strategic work that moves your trajectory forward. Building a project plan, drafting a proposal, mapping a stakeholder strategy, developing a presentation for a senior audience. Then return to normal availability for the rest of the day. The first week, nobody will notice. The second week, people will start to ask about that meeting time. By the third week, your calendar will start to be respected differently because you are visibly protecting some part of it. And the work you produce during those 90-minute blocks will start to compound into the kind of output that gets noticed at senior levels. One 90-minute block per week. That is the entire technique. The constantly available manager is still a senior manager today. He is still responding to emails at midnight. He is still being passed over. The selective manager is now a director and being prepared for vice president. The difference was never effort. The difference was that one of them treated availability as a virtue. The other treated it as a resource. In U.S. workplaces, time you give away freely becomes time the system stops valuing. Time you protect becomes time the system pays for. Like this video, if it explains something you have been doing without realizing the cost, share it with someone who is always available and never advancing. They need to see this. And subscribe, because in the final video of Phase 2, we go into the single behavior that destroys authority faster than any other. And most American professionals do it under pressure without knowing they are doing it. Once you see it, you will never let yourself do it again. Do not miss it.